What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Lennox Lewis, Big Up England, Big Up Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury, and Alexander, the Cat Usyk. Once again, Lennox Lewis says this about Undisputed. He says, "Do you want to make history, or do you want to make excuses?" This is what every professional fighter should ask themselves and then act accordingly. Those are the words of Lennox Lewis as he shows his frustration, as well as the fans, as well as the public, as well as the boxing fans, casual or otherwise, about Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. Now, we know that boxing news in early 2023 was crowded by the fraud and ultimately failed negotiations between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk to crown a four-belt heavyweight champion. While both sides blame each other and fans make up their own minds, Lewis's advice rings true. And let me counterpunch. It's easy for both sides to blame each other. I think Lennox is just looking at both or just the situation as the result. And what's the result? The fight's not happening. And I think he's past the whole idea of whose fault it was. Everybody really knows who fault it is, which I will have a video coming today further explaining that. But I think Lennox is focusing on the fact that how his generation, the generation he fought in, was able to come to a deal. Okay. He agreed to 10 million flat, guaranteed rather. Holyfield got 20, twice as much. The fight happened. It was a draw. It was controversial. Lennox Lewis was robbed. Second fight, Lennox Lewis got his just due. The rest is history. He's the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. But then the sad part is he's the last. Okay, and that's been 2 decades ago. 2 decades ago. And looking at what could have happened versus what did happen, it's sad. Because that fight should have happened. But I'm American, okay? Americans look at things very clearly sometimes. This one does. And we want to know and pinpoint who is responsible for it. And you could say, oh, it's both because Team Usyk pulled out. Listen, Team Usyk, they are human beings just like anybody else. They're rational, okay? And they understand BS. They understand when certain things are meant, certain things are desired, and Tyson Fury's team was neither. Okay, they moved the goalpost. They demanded stupid things after those were agreed upon, which were the most difficult, which was the split, which was the location, which they would have made more money in Saudi Arabia. They skipped that up, okay, due to their own dislikes of that particular deal that personally dealt with the Saudis. Then supposedly they went to the UK. Then they wanted the 70%. And all this was agreed about. It's almost like a person wanting a job and you're telling a person that's worth a lot more than what you offer them. You offer them that and then they agree. And then you go back in the checklist and say, well, hey, you know what? Let's look back at this. That person's going to think, you know what? You don't really want me to work here. You want me to either get frustrated enough to leave because what you're asking me to do, I said I would do. So why would you then come back or recheck or dig up something that we've already discussed? I mean, that's just common sense. When you see someone that does that type of activity or goes down that road with you, you know it's a road of uncertainty. You know that's a road that leads to nowhere. And that's what Tyson Fury was doing. And people understand all over the world what happened with Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. You know, that's why Tyson has been so quiet, because he knows that, hey, people are blaming him. People are fed up and people are sick of his shit. Okay, the Wilder train, it ended damn near 2 years ago. 2021, he beat Deontay Wilder for hopefully the third and final time. Hopefully, because they're talking about a fourth fight. But that just shows you about Tyson Fury. He doesn't like fresh challenges. He doesn't like putting that O on the line, because everyone and their mom of this era, sadly to say, is trying to mimic or imitate the career of Floyd Money Mayweather. And they may have just got themselves in a situation where they'll never be great. And definitely they'll never make anywhere near the money Floyd has, because Floyd built his foundation from a long time ago. Unlike these fighters. Fighting one fighter is not enough compared to what another fighter has done and made it a legacy of doing. And that was Floyd. Pretty boy Floyd Mayweather. But back to Tyson Fury, you know, and Alexander Usyk, this fight didn't happen. Now you could also apply that to Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford as well, because, you know, that's a fight that lingered and lingered and lingered. And even if we see it now, it won't be what it once was. So there you go. So I think that applies as well. But I think Lennox Lewis was talking about being undisputed because he was undisputed. You know, and it is a shame that this fight's not happening, but I hope it does one day, and not that day to be too late when the public interest is uninterested. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Lennox Lewis once again disgruntled by the fact that there will be no fight for an undisputed heavyweight champion. He's the last of his kind. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.